I'm sitting at my desk in my Nashville office when my phone buzzes. The screen lights up with a text from Mitchell. "You're not worthy of coming to my engagement party." I read it once. Then again. The words don't change. I stare at the message, my stomach twisting into knots. For 3 months, I've been planning every single detail of this party. I've spent countless nights awake, sketching table settings and calling vendors. I booked the rooftop venue with the most beautiful view of Nashville's skyline. I've been coordinating with caterers for an amazing southern feast. I designed decorations that blend rustic charm with elegance, exactly the kind of thing Mitchell said he wanted. I've used my professional connections, spent my own money, and poured my heart into this because it's for family. Because Mitchell is my brother. I flash back to memories of us growing up, how we used to be close, how I always protected him when he was younger. And now this. I sit in stunned silence, reading the message over and over. My first thought is to call him immediately and demand an explanation. But something stops me. Instead of panicking or crying, a strange calm settles over me. I set the phone down carefully and stare out my office window at the busy Nashville streets below. My mind starts working differently than it usually does. I think about all the vendor contracts I signed, all the arrangements I made. Everything for this party is in my name. The venue booking, the catering agreement, the decorations contract. Everything. A plan begins forming in my mind, something I've never considered before. I open my laptop and type flights to Hawaii into the search bar. My finger hovers over the results as they load. I find myself smiling, a quiet, knowing smile that probably looks strange to anyone watching. I whisper to myself, let's see how they handle this without me. I decide to call my mother first. Surely she'll understand how cruel Mitchell's text was. When I tell her about being uninvited, there's a long pause on the other end. Then she says something that makes my heart sink. "Honey, it's Mitchell's special day. He's under a lot of stress planning this wedding. You know how important this is to him. Can't you just let this go?" I feel my throat tighten. My own mother is dismissing my pain like it doesn't matter. I try to explain how much work I've put into this party, how I've been losing sleep and spending my own money. But she interrupts me. "Sometimes we have to make sacrifices for family. Don't make a big deal out of this." That evening, I gather my courage and call Mitchell directly. His voice is cold and distant when he answers. "What do you want, Natalia?" I ask him straight out why I'm not invited. He sighs like I'm bothering him with something trivial. "Look, Veronica and her friends want a certain type of guest list," he explains. "It's nothing personal. We just have limited space and want to keep things classy." The word classy stings. I've been working in event planning for years. I know exactly what makes an event elegant and memorable. And somehow I don't fit that description? My voice rises. "I'm your sister, Mitchell. I've been building this entire party for you, and now you're saying I'm not good enough." He gets defensive. "Look, this is my decision. Veronica's family has certain expectations. Just drop it, okay?" He hangs up before I can respond. Later that night, my father calls. He doesn't waste time with sympathy. "Natalia, I need to talk to you about the engagement gift." My stomach drops. He explains that Mitchell and Veronica are expecting a substantial contribution from me, $3,000, toward their honeymoon trip. I almost laugh out loud. They won't let me attend the party, but they want my money? "Dad, I'm not paying for anything when I'm not even welcome at the celebration," I say firmly. His voice gets stern. "This is about family duty. You need to do your part." When I refuse again, he actually accuses me of being selfish. I hang up, shaking with disbelief. After the call ends, I sit alone in my apartment. My phone buzzes with a social media notification. It's my cousin Bethany posting photos from some kind of pre-engagement gathering at a trendy Nashville bar. The pictures show Mitchell, Veronica, and a whole group of their friends laughing and toasting. The caption reads, "Best celebration ever. Can't wait for the big day." I wasn't invited to that either. I scroll through the photos, seeing how happy everyone looks without me there. I open my email and begin drafting messages to all the vendors I've been coordinating with: Ricardo Torres at the venue, Angela Martinez the caterer, Timothy Chen the decorator. I write that I'm stepping back from managing the event due to personal reasons, and that Mitchell will be taking over all responsibilities. My hands shake slightly as I hover over the send button. I meet Harper at our favorite coffee shop near Music Row. The morning sun streams through the windows as I unload everything: Mitchell's cruel text, my mother's dismissal, my father's demands for money, being excluded from family gatherings. Harper listens without interrupting, her expression growing more serious with each detail I share. When I finish, she leans forward. "Why are you still managing their party?" The question catches me off guard. I haven't fully considered just walking away. I've always been the responsible one, the person who follows through no matter what. Harper points at my phone sitting on the table. "You signed all those contracts, right? The venue, the food, the decorations, everything has your name on it." I nod slowly, understanding where she's going with this. "Then you have all the power here," she says firmly. "You don't owe them anything. Let Mitchell figure it out himself." The words spark something inside me. I've spent months coordinating every tiny detail. I know Ricardo Torres personally. We've worked together before. I've been collaborating closely with Angela Martinez on creating the perfect menu. Timothy Chen has been following my vision exactly. Without me managing everything, would they even know what to do? I open my email on my phone. What if I just stop? I say out loud, testing the idea. Harper grins. "Exactly. Let them deal with the mess they created. You deserve so much better than this treatment." That afternoon, I send the emails. I keep them professional but firm, explaining that I'm stepping back and that Mitchell will handle everything from now on. Ricardo replies almost immediately, confused and concerned. "You've been running this whole operation. Are you sure about this?" Angela calls me, her voice worried. "Everything's on track because you've been coordinating. Mitchell isn't prepared for this." I thank them both but don't change my mind. I've made my decision. That night, alone in my apartment, I open a travel website. Hawaii has always been a dream destination for me, somewhere far from Nashville's drama, far from family expectations. I search for flights leaving Nashville on the morning of Mitchell's engagement party. The flight I find is perfect, departing at 8 a.m., landing in Honolulu by early afternoon. I picture myself on a beach while Mitchell and Veronica scramble to manage the disaster I'm leaving behind. My finger hovers over the booking button. This feels huge, almost scary. I've never done anything like this before, just walked away from family, put myself first. But then I remember Mitchell's text, "You're not worthy." I remember my mother telling me not to make a fuss. My father demanding money for a party I can't attend. Bethany's social media posts showing gatherings I wasn't invited to. I click the button. The confirmation email arrives instantly. I've booked a week in Oahu, staying at a small hotel near Waikiki Beach. I immediately call Harper. "I did it," I say, my voice lighter than it's been in weeks. "I'm going to Hawaii. I'm leaving the morning of the party." Harper laughs, and I can hear the pride in her voice. "Good for you. Let them figure out their own mess." We talk for over an hour about what I'll do in Hawaii. Swimming, hiking, maybe trying surfing. It feels surreal, like I'm planning an adventure instead of an escape. That night, I lie in bed staring at my phone. No messages from my family. No apologies. Just silence. I know the storm is coming, that when Mitchell realizes the party is falling apart, he'll panic. When the vendors start calling him with questions he can't answer, he'll try to reach me. When guests arrive to find chaos instead of elegance, everyone will blame me. But I'll be on a plane, thousands of miles away, finally choosing myself. I fall asleep with a small smile on my face, feeling something I haven't felt in months. Free. The morning of the engagement party, I sit in Nashville's airport terminal, sipping coffee from a paper cup. My boarding pass for Honolulu is safely tucked in my bag, my suitcase packed with summer clothes and sunscreen. The airport buzzes with early morning travelers, but I feel strangely peaceful. I've done something I've never done before, put myself first, no matter the consequences. My phone has been quiet all morning. No frantic calls, no last-minute apologies. I'm not surprised. My family probably assumes I'll show up anyway, that I'd never actually abandon them. They don't know me as well as they think they do. Meanwhile, back in Nashville, I know the rooftop venue must be starting to unravel. Ricardo Torres arrives early to oversee the setup. I can imagine him immediately noticing problems. The tables are probably arranged wrong. Mitchell sent new instructions that contradict everything I planned. Half the centerpieces are likely missing entirely. The beautiful floral arrangements that were supposed to frame the space haven't been delivered. I picture Ricardo trying to call me, but of course I don't answer. He calls Mitchell instead. "We have serious problems here," Ricardo probably says, his voice tight with stress. Mitchell, still at home getting ready, sounds annoyed. "Just handle it. You're the venue manager." But Ricardo has to explain that I was coordinating everything with multiple vendors. Without my direction, nobody knows the full plan. Mitchell's irritation turns to concern. He tries calling me. No answer. He calls again. Still nothing. He texts, "Natalia, where are you? We need to talk about the party setup." The message sits unread on my phone. At the airport, my phone buzzes in my bag. I glance at it, see Mitchell's name on the screen, and put it on silent mode. The gate agent announces boarding for my flight. I stand up, adjust my backpack, and walk toward the plane. Each step feels like shedding weight I've carried for too long. Back at the venue, Angela Martinez must be facing her own crisis. The menu I carefully planned, authentic Southern food with modern touches, has been completely mixed up. Mitchell tried to make changes at the last minute without understanding how catering works. Instead of the hot, fresh dishes I arranged, cold sandwiches are being delivered. The special vegetarian options are nowhere to be found. The beautiful peach cobbler dessert has been replaced with store-bought cookies. I imagine Angela trying to call me to verify the orders, getting no answer. She calls Mitchell, explaining the problem. He gets defensive. "Just serve what you brought. How hard can it be?" Angela's professional pride must be hurt, but there's nothing she can do now. The food situation is a disaster. Timothy Chen, the decorator, is equally lost. The elegant lighting I designed, soft and romantic, highlighting the Nashville skyline, isn't set up correctly. The engraved name cards I'd carefully organized are missing. The rustic meets elegant theme looks cheap and thrown together without my guidance. I picture Timothy texting me photos of the venue, asking for direction. No response from me. Guests start arriving around noon. They immediately notice something is off. The venue looks half-finished. The decorations don't match. There's confusion about seating arrangements because the name cards are missing. People stand around awkwardly, whispering to each other about the poor planning. Mitchell's phone explodes with messages. "Ricardo, we need Natalia here now." Angela, "The food situation is unacceptable." Timothy, "I can't complete the setup without her direction." And now guests are texting him directly, asking what's happening. Veronica finds Mitchell in a corner, frantically trying to call me. "Where is she?" Veronica demands, her voice sharp. This is embarrassing. People are already posting on social media about how disorganized this is. Mitchell tries calling me again. The call goes straight to voicemail. He texts our mother, "Mom, do you know where Natalia is?" She's not answering and the party is falling apart. My plane takes off. I look out the window as Nashville shrinks below me, the city where my family is probably just realizing I'm really gone. I close my eyes, lean back in my seat, and for the first time in months, I feel completely at peace. My plane lands in Honolulu in the early afternoon. The moment I step outside the airport, warm tropical air wraps around me like a blanket. Palm trees sway in the breeze, and I can smell the ocean even from here. I take a taxi to my hotel, a small, charming place just steps from Waikiki Beach. My room overlooks the turquoise water. I drop my suitcase on the floor, change into comfortable clothes, and walk straight to the beach. The sand is soft and warm beneath my feet. Tourists play in the waves, surfers ride the swells, and the sun glints off the water. Like diamonds. I find a quiet spot, sit down, and just breathe. For the first time in months, my mind feels clear. No vendor emails to answer. No family drama to manage. No one demanding my time, my money, or my expertise. Just the sound of waves and seagulls, and the feeling of sun on my skin. I pull out my phone, see dozens of missed calls and texts, and turn it completely off. Back in Nashville, I know Mitchell's engagement party must be a complete disaster by now. I picture the scene. By mid-afternoon, more than half the guests have probably left early. The food was terrible, cold, wrong, and disappointing. The decorations look cheap and unfinished. The lighting is harsh and unflattering. Nothing matches the elegant, sophisticated event that was promised. I imagine Mitchell and Veronica standing near the bar, trying to salvage what they can, but it's hopeless. Veronica's friends are probably taking photos of the poorly decorated space and posting them online with captions like "Yikes," and "What happened to the planning?" And worse, I picture Mitchell and Veronica fighting. She blames him for pushing me away. "You said you could handle this," she probably hisses, trying to keep her voice down but failing. This is humiliating. My family spent thousands on our engagement gifts, and this is what we give them? A disaster party. Mitchell fires back. "This was your idea. You're the one who said Natalia didn't fit your vision. You wanted her gone." Their argument gets louder. Other guests pretend not to notice, but everyone can hear them. The perfect couple is falling apart in front of everyone. My mother must be trying to call me over and over. Each call goes to voicemail. I can imagine her leaving messages, her voice getting more desperate. "Natalia, please, we need you. The party is. Just call me back." My father texts, "This is not funny. You need to fix this situation immediately." Bethany, my cousin who'd left me out of previous gatherings, probably texts too, "Natalia, everyone's asking where you are. You need to get here and help." The nerve of it, asking for help after excluding me, would be funny if it wasn't so typical. In Hawaii, I wake up my second morning to sunshine streaming through my window. I've slept better than I have in months. I put on a swimsuit and go for an early morning swim, letting the ocean waves wash over me. The water is perfect, warm and clear. I decide to do something I've never had time for: explore. I rent a bicycle and ride along the coastal path, stopping at small food stands for fresh pineapple and shave ice. I visit a local market where vendors sell handmade jewelry and traditional Hawaiian crafts. Everyone is friendly, smiling, living at a pace that feels healthier than Nashville's constant rush. That afternoon, I find a small Buddhist temple tucked away in a quiet neighborhood. A sign outside advertises meditation classes. On impulse, I sign up for the evening session. The instructor, an older woman named Leilani, guides us through breathing exercises in a peaceful garden surrounded by flowering trees. "Let go of what doesn't serve you," Leilani says in a calm, gentle voice. "Your peace is yours to protect." The words hit me deeply. I've spent so long trying to serve my family, trying to prove my worth, that I forgot my peace mattered too. I sit in that garden as the sun sets, feeling lighter than I have in years. My phone is still off, buried in my hotel room. Back in Nashville, my family is probably panicking, but here in Hawaii, surrounded by strangers who don't expect anything from me, I finally feel like myself again. On my fourth day in Hawaii, I finally turn my phone back on. The screen immediately explodes with notifications, 67 missed calls, over 100 text messages, and countless voicemails. I take a deep breath and start reading through them. Mitchell's messages go from confused to angry to desperate. The first one, "Where are you?" The middle ones, "You're being incredibly selfish." The most recent, "Natalia, please. Veronica and I had a huge fight. Everything fell apart. I need to talk to you." My mother's texts follow a similar pattern, starting with demands that I stop this nonsense and fix the party, then shifting to worried messages asking if I'm okay, and finally guilt-laden pleas. "How could you do this to your brother on his special day?" My father's messages are shorter but harsher. "This is unacceptable behavior. You've embarrassed this entire family. Call me immediately." Bethany sent several messages too, mostly complaining about how awkward the party was and asking where I went. Not once does she apologize for excluding me from previous events. I sit on my hotel balcony, looking at the ocean, and feel nothing. No guilt. No anger. Just calm certainty that I made the right choice. I text Harper. Phone's back on. "It's as bad as we expected." Harper responds instantly. "Don't you dare apologize to them. You want me to come to Hawaii? I can catch a flight tonight." I smile at my phone. I'm okay. Really. I'll be home in a few days. Then Harper sends another message. Also, I might have written an article about everything. It went up this morning. Thought you should know. My heart skips a beat. What kind of article? Harper sends me a link. It's published on a popular lifestyle and culture website. The title reads, Event Planner Excluded from Family's Big Day Speaks Out About Standing Up for Self-Worth. I read it with shaking hands. Harper has written beautifully about my story, about spending months planning a perfect party, being told I wasn't worthy to attend, and choosing to walk away instead of accepting poor treatment. She didn't use any family members' real names, but the story is clearly true and raw. The article is already going viral. Thousands of comments from people sharing their own stories of being undervalued by family. You're so brave, one person writes. I wish I had your strength, says another. Messages flood my inbox from complete strangers offering support and encouragement. But there's more. The article has caught the attention of event planning communities online. Several Nashville-based companies reach out to me directly, impressed by my professionalism and wanting to work with me. A music festival organizer asks if I'd be interested in coordinating their spring event. A couple planning a large wedding wants a consultation. A corporate company needs help with an upcoming gala. I stare at the messages on my screen, overwhelmed. Harper's article has turned my painful family situation into something positive. Proof that standing up for yourself matters, that your worth isn't determined by people who don't appreciate you. I spend the rest of my Hawaii trip exploring more of Oahu. I take a surfing lesson and fall off the board a dozen times, laughing each time I hit the water. I hike to a waterfall, the trail steep but rewarding. I attend another meditation session with Leilani, who tells me, you're glowing differently today. You found something important. On my last evening, I sit on the beach watching the sunset paint the sky orange and pink. I pull out a notebook and start writing, not about my family or the party, but about what I want from life going forward. Boundaries. Respect. Work that fulfills me. Relationships that are mutual, not one-sided. I write, I spent so long trying to prove I was worthy to people who had already decided I wasn't. The truth is, I was always worthy. They just couldn't see it. And that's their loss, not mine. I board my flight back to Nashville, but this time I'm not running away. I'm returning on my own terms, ready to build a life that serves me, not drains me. My phone buzzes with more messages from my family, but I don't open them. I'll deal with that when I'm ready, if I'm ever ready. I return to Nashville on a rainy afternoon. My apartment feels different when I walk through the door, quieter, more peaceful, like it's truly mine now instead of just a place I crash between family obligations. I unpack slowly, hanging my Hawaii clothes in the closet, setting my journal on my desk. My phone buzzes. It's Harper. Coffee tomorrow? I want to hear everything. I smile and text back that I'd love to. The next morning, I meet Harper at our usual spot near Music Row. She hugs me tight when she sees me. You look different, she says, studying my face. Lighter somehow. I tell her everything about Hawaii, the beaches, the meditation temple with Leilani, the hiking, the feeling of complete freedom from family expectations. Harper listens, grinning the whole time. So what now? She asks. I pull out my phone and show her the work inquiries that came from her article. I have 3 client meetings scheduled this week, I say. Real clients who found me because they respect what I did, standing up for myself. I've already done research on each potential client. The music festival needs someone who understands Nashville's culture scene. The couple wants a wedding that blends traditional and modern elements. The corporate gala needs elegance and sophistication. All of it plays to my strengths perfectly. I'm rebuilding, I tell Harper. But this time, it's on my terms. She squeezes my hand across the table. I'm so proud of you. That afternoon, I do something I never thought I'd do. I block my family's phone numbers. All of them. It's not done in anger, it's done in protection. I've spent too many years absorbing their criticism, their demands, their expectations. I deserve peace more than I deserve their approval. I don't know if Mitchell and Veronica are still together or if their engagement ended after the disastrous party. I don't know if my parents understand what they did wrong. I don't know if Bethany ever realized how hurtful her exclusion was. And honestly, I don't need to know. Their choices are their own to live with. Over the next few weeks, my business grows in ways I never imagined. The music festival organizer loves my ideas and signs a contract immediately. The couple books me for their wedding after just one consultation. The corporate client is impressed by my portfolio and gives me complete creative control over their gala. Word spreads in Nashville's event planning community. Other planners reach out to collaborate with me. Venues want to work with me. Caterers and decorators who saw what happened with Mitchell's party respect me even more for walking away from poor treatment. I start a new journal. This one isn't about processing pain, but about documenting growth. I write about boundaries, about recognizing my value, about the difference between family that lifts you up and family that holds you back. One evening, I receive an email from an address I don't recognize. The subject line reads, "Thank you." Inside, a woman named Caroline writes about reading Harper's article and how it gave her courage to leave a toxic family situation too. "You showed me that choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's survival," Caroline writes. "Thank you for being brave enough to share your story." I read the email 3 times, tears filling my eyes. Not sad tears, but grateful ones. My pain has helped someone else find strength. That means something real. I don't respond to any attempts from my family to reach out through mutual friends or distant relatives. I'm done explaining myself to people who won't understand. I'm done justifying my boundaries to those who don't respect them. Instead, I focus on building the life I deserve. Work that fulfills me. Friendships that support me. Peace that protects me. I'm at my desk one sunny afternoon, reviewing plans for the music festival, when my phone buzzes. It's Harper. "Dinner tonight?" "My treat. We are celebrating you." I smile and reply, "Yes. Absolutely yes." I've learned the most important lesson of all. Respecting yourself sometimes means walking away from people who don't respect you, even when those people are family. My worth isn't determined by whether others see it. My worth is inherent, unchangeable, and mine to protect. And I'm finally protecting mine.